and welcome to the next instalment of my pregnancy fitness video diaries. I am now 16 and a half weeks pregnant, and today I wanted to show you a lower body workout. So for those of you who are just joining these video series, my name's Amber and my companies are Lovefit and She. You can find both of them online. But yeah, today I spoke in my last video about upper cross syndrome. So this is where people end up with very sort of rounded shoulders due to all the weight going forwards during pregnancy and afterwards. And we also experience a lot of lower cross syndrome. So this is where people can often end up with a very anterior tilted pelvis, or actually very posterior tilted, and sitting back to balance the weight of their bump or their baby when they're carrying them. So it's really important during your pregnancy to strengthen your glutes. So all of this hip area is going to keep your pelvis strong and supported, make sure your pelvic floor stays strong, and help to alleviate back pain, which is really common. So today I'm going to show you a little workout that is all lower body dominant, really aiming to strengthen the glutes. And I'm going to show you various levels, because as per all of these videos, it really does depend on where you are in your fitness, where you are in your pregnancy. So as I say, I'm 16 and a half weeks now and still feeling good. No major changes going on for me. So I'm carrying on with my training as normal, but I have reduced my weights just so that I'm not adding too much internal pressure to my abs. So today I'm going to show you 5 different moves that you can do that are brilliant for helping to strengthen your glutes. So the exercises are: number 1, the deadlift; number 2, the squat; number 3, the split squat; number 4, the side to side or transverse lunge; and number 5 is going to be a bridge. So let's begin with the deadlift. For me, because I'm used to lifting pretty heavy, I'm still doing my deadlifts with some weight. So today I'm going to demonstrate with a kettlebell that's 16 kilos. As I have stated before, if you are not used to lifting weight, please do not do this with a weight. But let me show you kind of how my training is. I've typically been doing 3 or 4 rounds of 12 reps of these. So yeah, if you're newer to exercise and you're doing this in some of the lower versions I'm about to show you, you might only do a couple of sets. But kind of no more than 12 reps for you. So let me show you the deadlift. The main thing with the deadlift, and I'm not going to do a long video here because I could spend a half-hour video teaching you to deadlift, but the main thing with your deadlift is that you are getting your hips back. What we're trying to do is really work the glutes and the hamstrings. So for me, I'm going to stand over my kettlebell. I'm going to push my hips back. So it's not a squat down, I'm pushing the hips back, so I can feel my hamstrings start to stretch out here. And then I'm going to sit back into it, keeping my head neutral. So I'm looking forwards and down. I'm not here and I'm not here. And I'm going to squeeze my glutes and lift that kettlebell up. And at the top, my shoulders are down, my heels are pressed into the floor, and my bum is tight. And then I will repeat this. So I'll just do a few to demonstrate. Pushing my hips back and standing tall. Pushing my hips back and squeezing. So this is an excellent exercise for really working your glutes. Okay, and as you'll see from this video, it's all about pushing the hips back. Now, if you're not experienced with weight, you can use the trusty band to do your deadlifts. So you will stand over the band and do the exact same move. I'm going to push my hips back, keep my head neutral, and then squeeze up. Push my hips back and stand up. If the band you're using is not very resistant, you can tie your hands round more to increase the resistance there. And again, just to show you from the side, it will look exactly the same. So I'm here, I push my hips back, squeeze up. Push my hips back, squeeze up. Okay, so that's your deadlift. Then we have the squat. Your classic squat, you want your feet roughly hip width apart, maybe a tiny bit wider. You keep the chest up as you push your bum back and down, as if you're going to sit into a low chair. Notice how my knees are not caving in, and I am keeping my chest up. I'm not down here. And then again I stand. So I push hips back and down and stand. You can do whatever works for you with your hands. You can do this holding some extra weight, or like I'm doing now, you can do it with no weight. From the side, slight difference to your deadlift. I still always initiate the move with my hips pushing back, but now I'm dropping down before I come up. Hips back and up. So again, just notice how I'm not here. That's when your knees are going to hurt. I've got all my weight back. I'm trying to get down to parallel. Depending on your mobility, you might only get to here, but squatting is brilliant for your leg and glute strength. So a real must for your pregnancy. It'll also get you ready for bending down, picking up baby toys and changing mats and all of that sort of stuff. So that's your second exercise, the squat. Then we're going to move to the split squat. I'm going to demo this with some dumbbells. So again, if you want to add weight, you're used to using weight, you know you're pretty stable still during your pregnancy, brilliant. The way the split squat works is pretty much what it says on the tin. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, chest is lifted. And then from there, we squat. So some people call this a static lunge. One thing to make sure is that you step back straight from the hips. So you're not here, otherwise you're going to wobble around a lot. You want to have that nice split there and then drop up and down. Okay, and from the side, you'll be able to see here, I am moving straight up and down. I'm not lunging forwards. If you want to make that slightly harder, you can have 1 foot up on a step and then do the same thing, drop down and up. And I would typically do 12 of them on each leg. You can add in extra upper body work if you wish to. And obviously make sure you work both legs. But that is a fantastic exercise for really intensifying the work down the thigh. Again, you can do that with no weights. Another one I like to do is the lateral lunge, so side to side. So with this one and the weights, I'm going to step out to the side and push my hips back. So again, I'm not here. I'm trying to get my hips back. I'm reaching down. And just so you can see the position front on, it's here and back. I'm reaching across. But similarly, I can do that with no weights. Just step out, or I can add a reach. And you obviously want to work both sides. So you can either do all on one side, or you can go side to side and alternate. It's up to you. This will really hit your glute medius and your inner and outer thigh. So another fantastic one to add to your repertoire. And then finally, we're going to do a bridge. Now, again, if you're watching this and you're further along in your pregnancy, or if you have a particularly big bump, you might want to avoid this because the bridge involves lying on the floor. It's going to work the same muscles that you do in your deadlift, but it's actually a fantastic exercise for mobilising the spine and really engaging your glutes. So as long as you're not lying down for really long periods, there's actually no problem with doing exercises lying on your back during your pregnancy. Not so much later on, and it does depend on your bump. The only reason you don't want to be lying down on your back for a long time is because the weight of the baby will press down on your vena cava. So we don't want to be restricting blood flow. It can make you feel a bit dizzy. So if you do experience any unpleasant symptoms when you're lying down, then obviously move. But yeah, for me, as you'll see, there's only a small bump for now. I'm only going to be down there for 12 reps at a time, so there's no issue. So just move that weight. Also just notice how I get down to the floor. I'm not going to sit down and fling myself back. I'm going to come to kneeling, lie down on my side, and then roll onto my back. And I'm getting into that habit really early on to make sure I'm protecting my abs. So your bridge, you want your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. I'm going to plant my toes into the floor, and then squeezing my bum, I'm going to lift up, so engaging the glutes, and then gently coming down. Squeezing up, and gently coming down. Up, and down. And I would do that for 12 reps. And then to come up, same thing. I roll onto my side to stand up. So there you have 5 lovely exercises to really strengthen your glutes obviously the whole of the lower body, with or without weights, depending on your level. If you're not sure, or if you're quite new to exercise and you're just trying to get fit during your pregnancy, then please don't do this with weights. You will get plenty of work just doing this with your own body weight. I'm just still training with some light-ish weights because I'm used to heavy lifting. So I hope you found that useful. This really will help strengthen your bum. That's the most important muscle to work in your pregnancy, in my experience. So really do focus on that. I'm typically doing 1 or 2 days a week where I train my glutes specifically, and then 1 or 2 days a week where I'm focusing more on the upper body. And goes without saying, always mobilise before you start the workout, always have a little stretch afterwards. Not too long a stretch, just enough to loosen off the muscles. Okay, so I hope you found that useful, and I will list out the exercises below this video just so you can see them for easy reference. And yeah, watch the video back anytime you want to check your technique and remind yourself what all the exercises look like. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you when I am 17 weeks. Thank you. Bye.